So I just finished my second out of my back-to-back screenings over the past couple of days, and honestly I can't find a better way to pass the time when I wait for this hurricane to hit than to go check out Ben Affleck kick some people's ass. All you haters out there, rejoice, Affleck is back. And with that, I'm welcoming you to another episode of Real Mentor, where my goal as always is to enhance your movie watching experience. So the accountant, of course, Ben Affleck, returns. And I wasn't sure what to expect out of this movie, to be honest with you. I saw the first trailer. It seemed like a kind of typical action flick for the most part. But I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised about what I just saw. So Affleck's the main character, the accountant. Of course, he is someone who was diagnosed with autistic as a young kid. So he's very socially awkward, has some of the mannerisms that you come to expect when you think of someone who's autistic. And he's very focused on things. So once he starts something, he needs to finish it or he goes nuts. Now, clearly, as we all know, he's not your typical accountant. Now, growing up, his father was in the military. He had kind of an interesting childhood, which they explore in this movie. But he teaches him how to defend himself, because he's obviously doesn't want to grow up with being disadvantaged, being picked on as a kid, and even when he gets older and be people taking advantage of someone like him. So he teaches him how to defend himself. He was in the military, so don't get me wrong, Affleck may be a nerdy accountant, but behind the scenes, he can kick some ass. Now, there's a lot to like about this movie, particularly Affleck's character. Has more depth than I thought it would. Very layered, and the movie progresses. You learn more and more about him, what makes him who he is and what he is. Of course, he not only gets to kick ass, but we do know that he cooks books for questionable organizations, whether it be terrorist groups or the mob, for example. So it's a very interesting character, and the movie does a good job of revealing little by little as we go through the movie itself. Now, this movie also has Anna Kendrick, who she was basically a plot device for the most part, but she does bring a good counterbalance to kind of the serious nature of Affleck. She's almost the opposite. She's also a fellow accountant. She kind of helps him out, and in turn, he helps her out. And there's a good chemistry between them. But again, she's not a main character. She is, again, a plot device to kind of humanize Affleck's character as a whole. There's also John Lithgow, who's very good in it, J.K. Simmons, who I'll get to in a second, and John Barenthal, who we know as Shane from The Walking Dead. And of course, Netflix, he was in season 2 of Netflix Daredevil season 2 as the Punisher. Now, he's great, he's getting his own show, and of course, Walking Dead's never been the same since he was written off. But he's one of the highlights of this particular movie. He's great in it. He plays one of the villains. He's cool, he's interesting. He kind of steals the scenes every time he's on screen. He's always good. I wish he got more work. Now, the action itself is very well done. Don't get me wrong, this is not an action movie per se. There's more to it than just that. Maybe one, it's probably two particular action scenes, but they're very well done, very well shot, very Jason Bourne-esque in terms of its brutality. Some of the hand-to-hand combat is great. Affleck does a really good job of selling it. We know he can be physical. We saw him recently in Batman v Superman, and he's great in it. It's brutal. It's really, really cool as far as the action scenes and all that, particularly in the end. A couple of surprises in there. One pays off, one doesn't. I'll get to that in a minute. But overall, I guess it's a very enjoyable movie. There's some pacing issues, don't get me wrong. This is not a perfect film by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a good, entertaining movie, particularly because of Barenthal and Affleck themselves. And one of my gripes about the movie is J.K. Simmons' character, the side story that they kind of take you on. It kind of pulls you out of the movie sometimes. At first, it was kind of making sense. He's a U.S. Treasury an officer. He has an agent who is he uses to track down Ben Affleck and trying to find out who he is. And at first, you're thinking, okay, that's being part of the conflict. They're gonna eventually, cross paths, but they never really do. It was weird because the whole story now is more to introduce a lot of the backstory that Ben Affleck had, and they could have done that in so many ways. It was almost unnecessary. It was good, don't get me wrong, but it didn't really serve the movie. And if anything, I think it detracted from what really it was focusing on. So it's a little bit uneven from that standpoint. It was about a 2-hour movie. They could have cut some of that out, maybe made it about 145, more or less, and would have been a much better flowing movie than what it was. But that being said, it's still very entertaining. The action is well done. A couple of revelations in the end, or twist, whatever you want to call them. The first one, it was a little cliched, but it worked. Don't get me wrong. It was set up well enough to we believe it. The second one, I'm not really sure what to think. I was like, you kind of scratch your head. I'm like, okay, I guess I buy it. It was kind of cool, but kind of ridiculous at the same time. I'm not really sure what to think, but you know, it wasn't egregious, anything like that, and it's almost set up for, like, I won't say it's set up for a sequel, but they can definitely make this into a sequel if they wanted to. He's a very interesting character. It'll be interesting to see what they do, if they do decide to make this a franchise or not. I don't even know, to be honest with you. But overall, I really enjoyed it. So it is a movie I definitely recommend if you guys go to theaters. If not, catch it when it comes out on video, Netflix, whatever. It's definitely worth your time. So if you guys see it, comment below as always. And of course, don't forget to subscribe below and feed my need to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.